Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I got some much needed updating I need to let you guys in on and tell you what's been going on to the poor old black bug here. Stick around. Well, guess what? Look right there behind me. Yep, you know it. The engine's out. Right here's what's going on. So let me just fill you in on a few little things about the old bug here, about what we've been doing. Let me get this thing turned around. Okay, we're fresh off, guys, of the weekend after the Bugapalooza show at Camp Jordan Arena in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And it was a fantastic weekend. It was awesome. So over the last few months, we've been trying to get the old black bug here ready to go to the show. And we've been doing all kinds of things into it. And I just didn't have time to do any kind of recording. But I'll fill you in on what's happening. So we got everything in. And we've been driving it around, testing it, making sure we can make the 20-mile trip up the road. And then all of a sudden, it starts running hot. The temperature of the engine is really hot. It's so hot that you can't even touch the dipstick for the oil. I mean, it's just super hot. So all my tins are there. Everything is there. So the only thing that I come up with was that the timing was off. Now, I don't know. Let me get over here and I'll show you. So on the old bug, as you can see right here, this is a SVDA, which stands for Single Vacuum Dual Advanced. And you may or may not remember, but I had bought an aluminum power pulley I had on this engine. Well, the power pulley is smaller. So when it's smaller and it's turning the factory size pulley on the alternator, it makes the alternator run slower, which in turns makes the fan in the back run slower. And when that runs slower, it doesn't cool as much. So what I done was I was thinking it may have been the oil cooler down inside the doghouse. So I went ahead and ordered a brand new cooler. So I had to pull all that stuff off. And I went over to the local junkyard and got me a new to me pulley. It's a standard size, so I got that on there. Got me another belt, got all that stuff. But the kicker is for whatever reason, this static timing on this distributor, a single SVDA, needs to be at a static timing of 7 degrees before top dead center, and it was set at 5 degrees after top dead center. So there, shaboom, is my temperature problem. So I got that on there, and as you can see, I got a gauge here, and so that I've been having that just so I can make sure, because my temperature, or not temperature, but my oil light kept coming on. So I come to find out that I had like a 7.5, 8 pound PSI oil sensor, pressure sensor on there, which is not a factory setting. So I took it off and got a factory one, and I can't remember if it's like 2.5 or 3 pounds PSI on there. So I put this on just to check it. So I've been doing real good with that. So my light's not coming back on, but I'm now running 10W40. So that's what I've got in it right now. So I may switch back to the 30 weight since I've got the timing right, just so we can check everything out. Kind of go back and forth till I get all that done. So I think that I've got the heat problem worked out with the jetting on the carburetor, 34 pick 3. I got that timing or that jetted out just right. I got the proper pulley. I got a brand new oil cooler. And I got the oil pressure sensor on there. So I think we've got all that squared away. So now the next issue we had, while we were out testing, we pull up to a stop sign or to a red light, and all of a sudden we hear pop. And what pops? The cable, the clutch cable strips through the nut. Well, as I get in, we had to have a tower, a flatbed rollback, bring us home. So I went and got a brand new clutch cable because all the threads were stripped out on it. And I went ahead and got a couple extra nuts. And what was funny is, I guess when one strips, they both strip. So they was both stripped. Now, ever since I've had this vehicle together, the clutch has been really hard to push. Now, in the past, I've had some Mustangs that had a heavy-duty clutch, and it feels like a really heavy-duty clutch compared to the regular old clutch on a Volkswagen. Now, so both of those things had stripped out. And so when I got home, I got it off, and I pulled the engine from the car. And as you can tell right here, I've also got a brand spanking new throwout bearing. Now, the throwout bearing ear was broke right here, along with the clutch problem, the clutch cable. The throwout bearing was just almost dangling, and one of the clips was down in here in the bottom, which that's no good. So I'll show you. Right here it is. I don't even remember what kind of throwout bearing this is, but this thing is brand new, and the ear on this is pressed on, and it might be spot welded, but you can tell that that's not quality. That's not good work. But this one is a good throwout bearing. I told them when I went up to the parts store up there, I told them, I said, I want the best one you got. When we got these parts at the bug show. So I got a brand new throwout bearing, and obviously I got the heavy duty clips to hold it in there. Got all this reset and everything screwed in. So let me tell you how I'm going to try right now to solve the heavy duty pressure. Now, on this arm right here that your cable hooks to, it is like 70 something millimeters long from the center to center. And this is, on this one, it's a 16 millimeter shaft. Well, if you try to go with a longer arm, we couldn't find anything that's a longer arm without going up to a 20 millimeter hole. Now, you don't need a 20 millimeter hole going over a 16 millimeter shaft. So I'm going to tell you what I've done. I went ahead and bought another brand new arm, and I welded a longer, I cut them. I cut two pieces, and I made this about 95 millimeters from here up here to the center. Now it's got plenty of room. It's not going to hit the floor of the luggage rack up in there. So it's got plenty of room. So I'm hoping that the different angles will help me. It's just like having a big long pry bar onto a ratchet. It helps give you leverage. So I'm hoping that's going to help give me leverage. And so I think that's where I'm at on that. So another thing I'll tell you that happened, I mean, this stuff has just been piling up. I don't really know if you can see that, but you see that seal? I don't know how many hours is on this thing, but it's about 100 miles. Look at that. So when I pulled the engine out, I got over here and looked at all this, and I looked up underneath, and there was a bunch of oil up underneath there. There is my seal, and it's just all that shininess in there. And apparently, when I put that's a brand new seal, and when I put it in, I didn't push it in far enough. Plus, the end play on the crankshaft was off. So I don't know. Maybe I had too many Miller Lights that day or something. No, I'm just kidding. But there was too much in play. So I got my shims and got in there, and I got my new main seal pressed in, and I got it to the right depth and everything. And I got that in play fixed. And I'll be dang if I didn't get all that done and realize that I didn't have the washer. I put it on here to remind me. Behind, I think it's a gland nut behind the nut. So now I got to pull all that stuff off. So guys, there's been a whole lot of stuff going on with the old Black Beauty here in the old 2-car garage. And, you know, man, it's been something, and I've been working, but I want to say, hey, to the guys that I met at the Bugapalooza. They recognized me from the channel, and it was good talking to you guys, and had a great time. Man, you need to go look up 2023 Bugapalooza, Camp Jordan, Chattanooga, Tennessee. Man, just look it up on YouTube. I'm sure there's videos on there by now. It's been a week ago. So, man, it's a great thing. So, if you can, try to make it, tune in and keep following. I got a bunch of extra parts that we're going to be installing on the inside and some stuff on the outside. So, listen, you guys stick around, and thank you for tuning in to the channel.